Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with a brand new brew review. And today we are gonna talk about another French beer. I brought this from the north of France. As you guys may have noticed, I was on holiday. I've been gone for a few weeks. It was very wholesome to see that some people actually asked for when the next review would come because they already missed, well, probably the reviews, not so much me. But yeah, thanks for checking in, guys. I was just on holiday. But we are gonna talk about Jenlain Blonde today. Jenlain Blonde is a blonde beer, as the name suggests. This is a bière de garde, just like the Trois Morts that we've already seen, and we've seen some more. Now, Jenlain is a beer by Brasserie Duyck, and Duyck is again a Flemish name because this is in French Flanders. This is a family brewery, an independent family brewery that was founded in 1922, as they state quite obviously on their can on several occasions. Now this is a 7.5%, let's call it a strong blonde, but as I said, it is a bière de garde. And it is located in the north of France, so it is actually very close to Brasserie du Pays Flamand and to Trois Morts and to Mont-des-Cats. There are like 4 or 5 breweries in a very small circle there. But before we start, let's look at this can. This can has been revamped. Actually, they used to sell this solely in 75 centiliter bottles, as a casual bière de garde prescribes. But these days they sell in cans as well, and canned beer is becoming very popular in France, or actually pretty much everywhere except Belgium. What did they revamp? Well, they kept the old style photo on the label, and they reused some bits of the old label, but they did add depuis 5 générations, so since 5 generations, meaning this is the 5th generation of family Duyck that is heading the brewery. What else did they add? They add this French product logo, just the brewery logo. They did not add any information about the beer except for the ABV, which is of course obligatory. Now, I did find out that this beer is brewed with barley and wheat and some kinds of hops, so it is extra hopped, but I have no idea which hops or how much. So let's start by having a look. Now, at first glance, this looks like a typical lager, let's say. Quite pale, it's very slightly hazy, but mainly pale. I would even call this yellowish, and some nice, pretty white foam. It's not white, it's not washing product, commercial white, but it is rather white. Now, I say it looks like a lager because we know it isn't one. They are quite clear about this here. Bière de fermentation haute brassée au village de Jenlain. So, top fermented beer brewed in the village of Jenlain, which of course lends its name to the beer and to the range of beers because they have several Jenlain beers. I see quite a bit of carbon dioxide purling up, so it looks pretty heavily carbonated, but mainly very pretty, very nice. It smells, first off, very yeasty. I know some American friends would say very Belgian-y, but that is often the term they use for yeasty beers. I also get a tiny hint of acidity, which reminds me of typical wheat beers. Now, this is not a 100% wheat beer, this is a barley beer with some wheat, but that acidity can shine through every now and then. tiny bit of bitterness or hoppiness, let's say. And between that hoppiness and that acidity in the nose, I get some citrus hints. Okay. Now let's see how that tastes. Cheers. After having smelled this palate, this beer is surprisingly bitter and dry. Yeah, kind of like this. I expected a, let's say, a half sweet beer nearing towards wheat, but this is absolutely not what I expected. It is way better than that. It is a rather bitter and dry beer. It is very thirst quenching. It does activate the back of the mouth, all the weak tissue here, the saliva glands, let's say. And I don't know which is stronger, the thirst quenching characteristic or making me even more thirsty because I'm saliving already, or salivating. So yeah, I really like this. I do still get some yeastiness in the back. It does have a nice, very pleasant mouthfeel because it's quite heavily carbonated. It really activates the roof of the mouth as well, and the carbon dioxide and the taste really circulates in my air tracts. So it really ping pongs between the nose and the mouth, so it actually activates all senses, and that is a very nice thing to have in a beer. I still have that slight acidity that I had in the nose, so I do think that the wheat does its work here. Still that dry bitterness, that hoppiness, and even in the aftertaste, a very dry bitterness that shines through. So for me, this is an ideal summer beer. And if I had known beforehand, because I hadn't tasted it before, I probably would have brought a crate for my next barbecue or something. I think this would be very good with, let's say, any strong tastes like goat cheese or marinated meats or very herbal dishes, or maybe even in wintertime with a stew. A tiny side note, if I am taking big sips, I do get a bit of sweetness in there. So the maltiness shines through whenever I have big sips. But apart from that, and actually it's not a bad thing, it's just a side note. But yeah, how should I score this beer? Like I said, I like the packaging. It did stand out in the supermarket, which is also important. Nice color, nice head of foam, lovely taste. I would easily call this a 3.75 out of 5. Yeah. Okay, that being said, thank you guys so much for staying with me and for watching again. If you guys like this video, let me know, hit that thumbs up or leave a comment down below. Same goes for if you have any questions or suggestions, I will get back to you as soon as possible. And if you want to see more, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you will get notified whenever I upload something, which starting next week should be every Friday and Sunday at 8 p.m. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers!